Um, you know, when we talk about your law firm and the structure of your law firm, I know you have some very unique things that you're doing that the traditional law, is not done like the traditional law firm that we think of.
Sure.
Why don't we talk a little bit about what's different at Traverse Legal, because that to me is fascinating, because I also have a radio show on law called Teach Me Law, and I love everything about law. I don't even work in law, but I love it.
Sure.
But one thing I do see is it harkens back to the days of billing people, like in public accounting. I was a CPA.
Yeah.
Of just, that, well, we billed in 15-minute increments.
Sure.
You bleed them by 6, or attorneys every
Sure.
6 minutes.
Sure.
But you don't do it that way at your firm. You're different. Why?
Well, first off, we're different from other law firms in most every way.
That's a great thing. That's a beautiful thing. Let's go over some of those ways that you're different.
Sure. And so one of the ways is that we have very innovative billing models. So. When I was doing internet and technology company, I was a general counsel of an internet and technology company in Boulder. We would project bid, and so one of the thoughts I had is, why can't I project bid
fixed
the
price?
Law, fixed price? So I tell you exactly what your deliverables are going to be.
That.
I tell you exactly what it's going to cost, and just that one little thing is really interesting in many ways. Number one, it gives the business owner an exact list of the things they're going to get. And it allows them to make a business decision on return on investment. Does this make sense? Yes. Now, we always say we convert 5 to 10 times more people into clients because we give certainty to the business owner on what the deliverables are and what the cost is. Makes it really easy for them to say, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Let's do that. And we always take risks with the client. In litigation matters where there is an hourly billing component, we always blend that with a component that puts us in the same position of incentives as the client. So that's one way. We use virtual law clerks. We're very high-tech. We're one of the most high-tech companies, law firms in the world. And so we basically bring our clients into our entire case management system. They see everything that's happening on their case every single day. We have virtual law clerks who work from around the country on these projects, but because it's all extranet-based, they're no different than if they were sitting in the office next door. So we're very customer service oriented, we're very business oriented, we're very solution oriented. We do litigation when we have to, but we know that typically is not going to be in the best interest of a client if we can find another solution that gets them where they need to be more quickly, more cost effectively. So we've got the technology side of our business and we've got the service side of our business, and both operate in a model that allows us to wake up in the morning and say, not that I have to bill 8 hours, but I've got to get these 3 things done for the client that I promised. And it's amazing how much you can achieve if you're shooting for that kind of target as opposed to an hourly billing timesheet at the end of the day.
Yeah, the whole perspective and focus is very, very different. When you talk about using some of the virtual folks that you use, do you have like a flexible workforce then, and can bring certain specialty people in to work on certain things, and then you find people like that within your system? Exactly.
Many law firms have a fixed staff
Right.
of attorneys and paralegals, et cetera, and so they have to keep those people busy. They have to.
Right.
And if there is a lot of busy work that goes on at law firms that is unnecessary but
Right.
keeps the law firms going,
Right.
we are able to staff up and staff down as needed on a project basis. The virtual law clerks, for instance, who work for us, they love it because they can do that work from home or, God forbid, sitting in class at law school and get things done. And so it really allows us a lot of flexibility in terms of customer service and deliverables.
Now, do you ever bring interns in, like physical interns, into your Traverse Legal?
We do. In fact, the very first virtual law clerk I had is Brian Hall. He became a summer law clerk and then became a partner at our firm right out of law school. He was that good, but he had proven himself as a virtual over a 3-year period. I knew exactly what I was getting with him. And he's really one of the best attorneys I've ever practiced with. And
is he a virtual partner, or does he physically in the office?
He is physically in the office.
Physically in the
so
office,
we have 6 attorneys in our office. We have offices in LA, in Austin, and we continue to expand.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, the work that you do, many times, I mean, it involves something that's of a global nature. I mean,
Sure.
You'd have to register trademarks in different countries, and such an it can be very big depending on what the business needs are. Do you have to travel a lot? Do you travel around the world? Do you? I mean, what's your schedule like?
My schedule is that I protect my summers as much as I possibly can so I can continue to stay in paradise during the summer. Our 6 weeks of paradise up in Traverse City and Glen Arbor. But we do travel all over the world. And our clients, we represent clients in almost all 50 states and 23 different countries. So one of the largest five-star resort hotel chains in Latin America, for instance, is a very good client of ours. So we spend a lot of time in Latin America. We travel and we get it done virtually when we can, but there are certain things that you really need to be there. And so probably 2 out of every 4 weeks, not in the summer, I'm on the road. I should have anticipated that as part of my business plan, but I didn't know it was going to work when we tried to be a global law firm out of Little Traverse City, Michigan.
That's amazing. But with the help of technology, it's just like you're there anywhere. Anywhere. I mean, you can be anywhere, which is like what I have with my business. I'm a completely virtual business. And
exactly. And the clients, they feel closer to us than they do their traditional law firm down the street because of the technology, because we use technology to collaborate and share and be transparent to them.
So you're using some sort of a project management thing, kind of like a Basecamp, but for law. Is it a custom package that you had designed for your firm?
It's a customized package of Basecamp.
Oh,
and Basecamp's beautiful because of its simplicity. And one of the things that was interesting back 7 years ago is whether or not, technology's always been there. The issue is end users. Are they ready to actually adopt and use technology?
Right.
So Basecamp, there's nothing really too crazy innovative about it, but what happened with Basecamp is the end users were all of a sudden ready. It surprises us. I think in all of our years, 7 years, we've only had one client that didn't use the case management system. Everyone else, they are in there just about every day, uploading information, sharing ideas. Most lawyers, you sign up the client and then you keep them at bay, and the client's view is, I don't want to call my lawyer because I don't want to get a bill, for $100 for a 15-minute phone call. So we never charge for communication between us and our clients. Never charge for phone calls, these types of things. And the reason why is, well, if I don't know what my client's problems are, how am I going to bid a project?
I know.
And yet all the incentives, the entire business model of law is so backwards. It's so completely backwards when viewed against what would normally be a capitalistic standard, capitalism. But lawyers aren't supposed to advertise, and it's frowned upon to advertise. Well, the consequence of that is consumers have no idea that there's something different than an hourly billing model out there. And as consumers start to become more aware, and the internet allows them to research one firm against another, this awareness drives our business, because all of a sudden you have consumers who are looking for a flat fee law firm who are going to tell them exactly what they're going to get and exactly what it's going to cost.
And I really, you have to wonder, and there's lots of damage because of this, because people didn't want to communicate with the attorney because of the fee, that things weren't communicated, so they missed out on opportunities, lost cases, or whatever. Who knows what didn't happen because they were thinking in the back of their head, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to afford this if I tell them or have a discussion about something, or if they would have had the discussion, it would have come out in the inquiring. It's sad, it's terrible.
It comes out in two ways, quality and decision making. So if you want the highest quality result on your project, then having continuous collaboration with your attorney is critical. And the other thing is, at some point the client's going to have to make a decision. Well, how educated are they about the various legal points that are in play? And as these emails come into their inbox every day on the research analysis and the thought analysis that goes into their project, they're learning. They're learning about their problem, and then they can make that decision at the end of the day in an educated fashion.
Okay, and there's another big point that you've made. The thing with most law firms, they don't want to educate you. They don't want you to have any knowledge of the law because they want you to be completely dependent on them, and then you're completely controlled by them. It's just so different. And you're building real relationships with your clients. You're actually collaborative, and that word does not actually fit with law in the traditional sense.
We're helping entrepreneurs and ideas grow. So we are in business. Some days I don't know if we're a law firm, if we're business consultants, or a technology company. We're all three of those things. But what we do is we essentially partner up with our clients to help get them up the ladder to the next level. And that's the best part of the job, being a part of a company that's gone from idea to 7-figure revenue. That's a great day.
I think what, putting